What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hope you're all doing absolutely amazing. One thing that we would love you so much for is if you can tell us one thing. Can you hear us? Can you see us okay? Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? And can you see our lips moving?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, we did a live stream for like 10 minutes. And 10 minutes in, people were like, we can't hear you. We're like, we've been talking for 10 minutes. Like, why do you tell us now? So tell us now. Can you hear us? Can you see us? All right. Carrie, what's up, Carrie? Yes.
Awesome.
Hey, Megan. Awesome. Okay. We have some yeses rolling in, so that's a good sign.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tonight we're talking about the missing link. Okay. The missing link in your business. Is it possible that you have gaps in your business right now? Because if it is, then it's not just you, it's something that's happened to us as well, but it could literally be costing you tens of thousands of dollars. How many of you would love to save tens of thousands of dollars? If you would, say I do in the chat.
I do.
I do. And so for those of you who don't know us, my name is Javier Carlin. I'm a physical therapist. This is Marissa Carlin. She is a dietitian, and together we're the co-founders of Healthcare Business University, where we help dietitians and nutrition coaches replace their income, escape the 9-to-5, and get to the point where they're making 3, 5, 10K months and beyond. And so if that's you, then you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we've had so many new members in the past couple of weeks. So if you're new, this is your first live stream, say hello, let us know this is your first live stream. And if you also know any other dietitians, nutrition coaches that would benefit from this awesome group, feel free to invite them to the party, because we have live streams every single week where we're bringing you tons of new information, some pretty fire content, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Okay.
Beautiful. So we have a question for you. How many of you have ever put out content on social media where you're talking about your products, your programs, your services? Maybe you've even put a link to book a call somewhere, right? Whether it's on your profile, again, on one of your posts, with a link to buy your products. How many of you have done that before? Now, how many of you have done that and had no one buy? Has this ever happened to you?
Yeah, maybe no one clicked the link to schedule a discovery call with you or a call with you. Maybe they didn't buy something that they originally said they wanted to buy, they were interested in buying, and you're getting crickets essentially on these types of posts.
Yeah, and if that's happened to you in the past, and again, it's not your fault, right? It's happened to us too. Then what we're talking about tonight is going to be a complete game changer for you. Okay, so really pay attention here, because the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of information these days about how to create content and how to put content out there, right? And there's specifically a lot of information on how to create content that generates your ideal clients. But what we guarantee you is that no one, and I mean no one, has ever broken it down like we're about to break this down for you. Okay?
Yes. So, question for you all watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay, definitely comment below and answer this question. So, for those of you that have a business, right, your nutrition coaching business, or you're interested or thinking about starting a business, who are your dream clients, right? So essentially we're asking, what is your niche, right? You've heard that word thrown around a lot of times here, but we have to start with this because we have to know who we're talking to, so that when we are putting out content on social media, when we are saying, book a call or sign up for my program or things like that, and we're putting our programs and services out there, we have to know who we're talking to, right? So we'll start there tonight, right? So who are your dream clients? What is your niche? And if you don't have one, and maybe you're thinking through a couple of ideas, totally fine. Drop a couple of those ideas in the chat. And tonight, I think it's going to be very, very beneficial, what we're going to share with you.
Yeah, 100%. So here are some examples of what your niche could be. It could be pre and postpartum mamas. Okay. It could be, women in their 40s, maybe, who are trying to lose the baby weight. It could be, people dealing with diabetes or other or some cardiovascular diseases, disorders. Okay. So there's many different types of niches. It could be young athletes.
I was going to say college, like track and field is one that comes to mind. So like collegiate track and field athletes, right? You could do gymnasts, you could do dancers. I mean, there's endless
possibilities, right? Endless possibilities. And the point here is that you might be in a place where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different ideas. Okay. And that's totally fine, because I'd rather you have some ideas than none. And if you don't have any, that's okay too, because we can help you work through this. And so based on what your personal experiences are, who do you love to work with? What are some of the types of people that you used to love to work with in the past? Okay, go ahead and drop those down. Now, as you're thinking this through and writing it down in the chat, okay, for your benefit, so you can really get this, the second question we have for you is really for those of you that are putting content out on social media. Okay, so on the scale from 1 to 10, how much engagement do you get on your content right now? Okay, so a 1 means you're getting very little engagement, and the engagement that you are getting, it's mainly from your family, your friends, or maybe random people. Okay, a 10 is that your dream clients are liking, they're engaging, they're commenting, and they're messaging you, really asking you, how can I work with you? Right? How does this work? What do I do? I'd love to work with you. How can I book a call? Okay. Or maybe they're just buying what you have to offer on their own. So where do you fall on that spectrum? 1, very little engagement, or 10, people are literally knocking on your door. Okay. Go ahead and put that in the chat.
Yeah, let's see who we got on. First of all, we got Carrie, we got Megan. I saw Lucy on here. What's up, Mary Claire? Awesome. All right, let's see. We got some niches. So we got busy moms looking for natural weight loss and better health, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue patients who want to reduce their pain and inflammation. All right. And we got some numbers rolling in here. We got 1, maybe a 3, a 2. This is such a struggle for me.
Okay. Yeah. And so if you're lower than a 7, it could be because you're not aware of what we're going to show you tonight. Okay. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 3 stages of awareness. Okay. How many stages are there? Let's see that you're with me here. 3 stages. Go ahead and put a 3 in the chat. Okay. And really how understanding these stages and making sure that you're posting the right type of content for your audience will make a huge difference in your business. Okay. This is the missing link. Okay. And so before we dive into the content today, I do want to let you all know that if this is something that you want to go deeper on, learn more about this process and really how to jumpstart your business, whether you're just starting off or you're currently growing your business, we have some incredible speakers, including ourselves, that are going to be presenting at a one-day event this Saturday. Okay. It's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's a jumpstart your business event. We're going to have Andres Ayesta, who has a multi-6-figure practice. He's made up to $38,000 in 1 month. We have Kaylee Cato, who actually was one of our clients initially, and she went full-time in her business. Okay. And she's been full-time in her business for about 1.5 years now, and she's done very, very well for herself. And so if those are things that you'd like to learn more about how to do for yourself in your own business, then I highly recommend that you join us this Saturday. Okay. So that's something you're interested in more of the details on. Go ahead and just put jumpstart in the chat. Okay. And we'll share some more of those details with you so you can join us, because we don't want you to miss out. Okay, we want you to have a successful rest of 2022, because I don't know if you agree with me, but it is flying by. It is flying by. It's almost July. It's crazy.
Like halfway through 2022.
Insane. So go ahead, comment jumpstart down below so we can help you jumpstart your business and really take off the second half of the year. Okay, so with that said, what's the question?
All right, so we already said there were 3 stages of awareness, right? I saw a bunch of 3s in the chat, so you're all paying attention. All right, I'm going to list them out, and then we're going to break them down one by one. And as I list them out, so you can really remember them and really let this sink in, I want you to put them in the chat. You guys ready? Comment ready.
Ready. I'm ready. Let's
do it. All right, so 3 stages. They are problem aware. Put that in the chat.
Problem aware.
Problem aware.
Got it.
Number 2, solution aware.
Solution aware.
Good job.
I thank you.
You're getting solution aware. And number 3, product aware.
Product aware.
So we got problem, solution, and product. Let me see. Okay. I see Megan says ready. I see them rolling in the chat. Okay. We're good. So you guys got it. So basically what this means is that first, people need to be aware that they actually have a problem. Okay. Second, they have to be aware that there is a solution to their problem. And lastly, they have to believe that your product, your programs, your services, your coaching program, what you're offering is the solution to their problem.
And I'll add the best solution to their problem. That's the key.
That's the key. So why does this matter?
Yeah. So I would say this matters because if you think about it, right? If someone doesn't think or know that they even have a problem, then they'll never invest in your services, right? Like maybe you've had conversations with people before and like to get someone to move forward, they have to have some level of pain, discomfort with where they're currently at. Because if everything is okay in their life, then why would they need your help? Why would they need anyone's services, right? They wouldn't. And so we really have to understand that if people aren't dealing with any problems, then they're actively not looking for any solutions. But worse, if they don't even know that they have a problem, they won't even see your solution. That's when people start to think, oh my God, like this person's blowing up my feed with things I don't want to see because they don't even know they have a problem. Okay. And so does that make sense, you guys? Like if someone doesn't know that they have a problem, they're not going to invest in your services. And what happens is if we're only communicating in the solution aware or product aware realms, right? If that's our single form of communication, and by communication, I mean content, okay, when we're putting ourselves out there and our dream customers don't even know that they have a problem to begin with, then this is where they don't resonate with our content. They don't resonate with our content. There's no reason for them to. And by resonate, the way that transfers over to more, I guess, practical terms is likes, loves, comments, and messages, right? I guess on Instagram, it would be saves and shares and all these other things you can do on Instagram, right? But when people don't know that they have a problem and they don't feel that you understand the problem, guess what? They don't resonate with it. They don't like it. Okay. And why does this happen? So why do you think that this happens? Well, it's simply because of this, right? We're not talking to them at their current level of awareness. Okay, their current level of awareness. So when it comes to creating content, okay, that generates clients, the question we have to ask ourselves is this: what does my dream customer already know? Okay, where are they mentally? What is their level of awareness? Okay, do they even know if they have a problem? I would say that about 50 to 75% of people that you want to work with right now, they don't even know that they have a problem. They have no idea.
You know they have a problem because maybe they've commented on some of your posts, right? You've looked at their page. Maybe you've talked to them on the phone before. You know that they have a problem, but they don't see that they have a problem. Or maybe they kind of think, maybe they know they have a problem. They don't think it's really as severe as you know it is. Yeah. And I would actually say that about 80% to 90%, if we were to look at your platforms right now, I would say about 80 to 90% of your content is mainly based on solution aware, and probably more so than that, product aware. And so what this looks like is you talking about your services, your programs, what you have to offer. It also looks like you educating and giving people a bunch of education, right? And wondering, why don't they click on my stuff, like my stuff? Why don't they book a call with me, right? I'm giving them so much education. They should be so educated right now to move forward with me, right? And it still doesn't happen. And so can you see that disconnect, right? If about 80% of people either don't even know they have a problem, or are getting a little bit more problem aware, but 80, 90% of our content is solution or product based, they're not seeing it. There's a disconnect. And guess what happens?
they don't connect with you. And so there's no connection. And guess what? If there's no connection, there's no conversation. If there's no conversation, there's no way they're going to ever become a client. Okay. Can you guys see this? Before we move forward, can you see this? Go ahead and put I see this in the chat. Okay. We're going to give you some tips for this in a moment. Okay. So stick around on how to actually solve this in your business. Okay. Cool.
Perfect. So right now for you all, what I'd love to do is just invite you to brainstorm just for a second on this. Okay. Brainstorm in your head, brainstorm in the chat, put it out there. And so you already told us your dream customers a couple minutes ago, right? So we'd love to know, what problems do your dream customers have? And every single person's answer is going to be a little bit different because you all have different dream customers. You all are serving a different population. Okay. So just brainstorm for a second, think about it, and put it in the chat. What are the problems that your dream customers currently have?
Yeah, such a good question. And for some of you, you're like, oh, I've been through something like this before where I had to think about the problems that my people are dealing with. Now, the question then becomes, great, are you actually using those problems, frustrations, pain points, all of these different components that you've researched to actually put that in your messaging, to put that in your content? And I want to add this, if that's okay with you, babe. So think about it, right? You know, many people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about the negative things. I don't want to talk about people's problems. I don't want to talk about people's pain points. Like, I don't want to be that person that makes people feel bad on social media. And here's the thing though, okay? The thing is that our brain naturally is always looking for the problem with everything. Okay. It's designed for survival. And so we're always looking for things that could cause danger. And just that alone, if you think about it, right, with the news, right, like the news, and does the news ever tell you anything positive that's going on in the world? Like would you agree that there are some positive things that are happening in the world right now, right? There always are, but they don't talk about it. They only talk about very rarely. They only talk about the problems and all the negative things that are happening in people's lives and the devastation and all of that. Okay. And so why do they do that? They do that because they realize that that's what attracts people. That's what gets people feeling like, oh, they understand me. Oh, you know, this is what's going on. Like I need to protect myself. I need to find a solution for this. Right. And so if the news does it to get people's attention, then what do you have to do? Unfortunately, you have to do the same thing. Okay. And that's just in the beginning, surface level, right? To capture people's attention. Once you've caught their attention, then you move on to the next step. But to make this very clear for you, make this very real for you, we're going to give you an example. Okay. But so far, is that making sense? Go ahead and put make sense in the chat if this is making sense so far. Okay. Cool. So let's show you an example of what this would look like. All right. Who remembers what the 3 stages of awareness are? Go ahead and drop them in the chat if you remember.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Okay.
Pop quiz.
Awesome. Awesome. So.
All right. So stage number 1, problem awareness, right? So let's do an example of this together. I'm just going to pick a really easy example here. Let's say weight loss. Okay. Weight loss. So one thing that we have to remember in the grand scheme of things is that there is only a very small percentage of people who are aware that they need to lose weight. And those people are actively looking for a registered dietitian to help them. Okay, because there are people who are aware that they need to lose weight, but some are not actively looking for a dietitian. But to get both of those, they are aware and they are looking for a dietitian. That's more on the rare side. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that said, a much larger percentage of people are not problem aware, as we were talking about before, right? They don't really think that they have a problem, or they're not actively looking for a registered dietitian to help them lose the weight in a safe manner, right? But they do notice that their clothes don't fit like they used to anymore. Maybe they do notice or hear their doctors warning them, hey, you know, if you stay on this trajectory, you know, you're going to have X, Y, and Z health problems later down the line. You know, your blood work is looking a little worse than it did a couple of years ago, right? Maybe they've heard those things from their doctors before, and they might not feel good day to day, right? If they're gaining weight over the years, maybe they're a little bit more tired, maybe they're a little bit more moody, whatever it may be, okay? So those are problems that they are aware of right now. Make sense so far? Comment makes sense below if you're with me.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yep.
Okay. And now we have to remember that many people just believe that, well, that's the way things are, right? As I age, things change. As I age, my clothes are just naturally going to get tighter and tighter and tighter every year. As I age, my blood work is just going to get worse and worse because that's what happens as I get older, right? And that's what some people think. And what we have to do is we have to make these people realize that they actually could have a very serious problem, that it isn't normal for these things to be happening. And there are solutions to fix them. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So good. So again, think about it, right? If we try to sell these people on a weight loss program, what is the likelihood that they'll buy, right? If they don't think that they have a problem, they have things going on, but they don't really see it as a big deal. It's like, well, no, like I'm fine, right? This is normal. Like Marissa was saying, this is just part of life, right? It's very low. That's probably what they're going to tell you at the end of a conversation with you, right? It's low because they don't think they have a problem. So what do we have to do? We have to make them problem aware, yes. So we have to actually in our content, say the things that they're feeling, say the things that are bothering them in their day-to-day, and tell them, hey, if you're feeling these things, right? If you're tired, if you're moody, if you're fatigued, if you're just, drained at the end of the day, if you lack energy while you're at work and it's really hard to talk to people, right? This can cause you to lose your job. It can cause you to have to go to see your doctor and get some terrible news about X, Y, and Z that could happen to you. This can cause all these bad things down the line, and it'll only get worse if you don't actually take care of them. And these are the different things that it could actually be. Now, the good news is there is a way to solve it. Okay. And so you see, just by doing something like that, we're making them problem aware. We're making them realize that, oh, shoot, bad things can happen here. But then calming them by saying, hey, but there are some ways to actually help you with this. Okay. So we can, like I mentioned before, we can talk about the consequences of them gaining more weight, the chronic conditions, and diseases that could arise, et cetera, right? There's more. And really, the big realization that you have to have with this is this, okay? So think about this. It's not just a one-time post and that's it, right? Like I mentioned before, it should be about 80 to 90% of our content most of the time. People need to see this over and over and over and over again in many different forms, because it really doesn't always click the first time, right? They may even miss your post on social media because of the time you post it at, right? So those things matter as well, the algorithm, et cetera. So we need to be talking about the problems that people are facing constantly. Okay, we have to talk about the problems people are facing constantly. And you'll realize, right, if you were to go to our Instagram, Healthcare Business University, you'll realize that there are certain posts that we put out there where we talk about problems in healthcare, things that you might be facing yourself. And if you look at those posts, those are the posts with the most engagement, the most comments. Why is that? Because we understand. We're in healthcare too. We felt those same pains. We felt those same problems. And the fact of the matter is that if you feel that too, guess what's going to happen? You'll be like, yes, yeah, 100%. That's exactly how I feel. And then you realize that we understand you, right? Because we do. And that connects us, right? That's that resonation point, right? Where you resonate with the content and where people resonate with your content. And once you've got them there, then you can start to move to that next phase of solution aware. Okay. But before that, one person who does this very, very well is Andres Iniesta, which I mentioned before. He's a content king, okay? He's always talking about his clients' problems, their pains, their frustrations. He's killing it right now on Instagram and TikTok as a dietitian. If you go to his TikTok, I think he has close to like 120,000 people following him, okay? And so, like I mentioned before, because of his content strategies and this awesome promotional hack that he discovered, that he's actually going to share at this event on Saturday, right? He's been able to do really, really well for himself. So again, like if you want to learn from him, who does this also very well, go ahead and comment jumpstart down below and I'll get you those details. Okay.
Yeah, the event is also recorded for anyone who can't make it live. You can also get a recording. So definitely don't miss out on this.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. And so just to recap here, right? We want to get people to think about the problem so much that they start looking into the next logical thing. If you have a problem, what do you want to find? Go ahead and put it in the chat. What do you want to find? You want to find that's right, solution. Okay. So get them thinking about the problem so much that they start looking into possible solutions. Okay. Now, once we've done that, once they've realized, oh, shoot, I got a problem and I need to get this solved, then the rest of our content could be focused on the solutions, right? And the solutions that are out there and our product. Okay.
And how our product is the best solution to their problems.
100%. And so one of the things that we talk about a lot, right, and that we help our clients through is building a signature method, right? A signature solution. And so your solution, right, is very unique. It's rare. No one else has it. And this is the solution that you have taken people through or are going to take people through that is like no one else's. And so when we talk about how this solution is better than all the other alternatives that are out there in your field, people start to wonder, well, how do I get this solution? How do I get this method? And then you bring your product, right? Your program, your service. Oh, I've got this program where I take people through this specific method that they're bought into. It's like, oh, that's the method I need. And this is the only program that has it. Guess who they have to go with? Go ahead and tap yourself on the chest and say, me. Okay. And I also want you to write it in the chat, put me. Okay. So put me in the chat, right? That's right. With you. Okay. So here's really where testimonials, success stories come into play. Okay. We want to show people that other people have gone through a similar framework, a similar process, and have gotten the result. If you're new and you're just starting off, two things you can do. Many times the people you want to help are just like you and you've gone through this experience yourself. You can talk about your own story, your own testimony. Okay. Many times you've taken people in your previous jobs or your current roles, right, through a framework like this. So you can tell stories about them. Even if you don't have testimonials or success stories yet, you can tell those stories. Same effect. Okay. Same effect.
Awesome. So with that said, right, so we have about 90% of our content is the problem aware, right? But now we're making that shift and talking about, okay, when can you start talking about your program, right? And this is when we can start promoting your program. If you did the first part right, if you created enough awareness around the problem, at this point, you'll have much higher chance that when you go to talk about your solution, when you go to talk about your programs on your social media, right, your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever it may be, right, when you tell people, hey, book a call or click the link below to sign up for X, Y, and Z, right, the chances of them actually taking action on what you're telling them are going to be so much higher, right? So, and at this point, because you've been talking about the problem for so long, right, and you've been talking about it for 90% of your content, you're also going to, when they book the call or, when they click the link, you're going to have an even higher chance for them to actually move forward and actually buy, because they know they have a problem at this point. They know that there's a solution out there because you've got them thinking about the problem, that they're starting to actively look for solutions,
Yep.
You being one of them.
They're starting to do some research.
Exactly. They're like, maybe Marissa and Javier are right. Like, maybe what they're saying is true. Okay, things are starting to resonate. So with that said, they know that there's a solution. They're looking into possible solutions, right? They've seen some testimonials from you. They've read some success stories, and they see that your process works. And now they want the solution. So now they're going to click. Now they're going to book that call, and now they're going to buy.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the main thing, guys. And so if you feel like you haven't been doing that right in your business right now, where you're mainly talking about the problems that people are dealing with, the frustrations that they have, right? That's the missing link. Because if you're not doing that and 80% of people are in that stage and you're talking to them at the third stage, can you see how they're not even going to perceive your content? It's just not going to happen. Right. And so when someone gets to the solution stage, that's when they have a desire. And now, like Marissa mentioned, they're doing some research to see, okay, what are the alternatives that are out there? Right. And this is where you can actually come in and speak to those alternatives. Right. Hey, just so you know, before they start going even deeper into that, you're probably going to find that there's this keto thing. You're probably going to find that there is, Weight Watchers. You're probably going to find that there's intermittent fasting. And here's the challenge with those things. And so for you specifically, you might need something different. Okay. And what I have found that for people dealing with X, Y, and Z, one of the best things that you can do is this. Okay. And through this process, I call the XYZ method. Okay. We have seen people just like you go from dealing with XYZ frustration, pain, problem to going through this process. And on the other side, right, having these amazing results. Okay. Feeling great again. Okay. Whatever the end outcome is. Okay. And then with the last piece of content, which is your product awareness content, that's where you can start to actually say, hey, buy now. There's, whether it's like a promotion, a special, okay. There's like, hey, there's 10 spots left. There's some urgency. There's some scarcity. Okay. At this point, people are now locked in. They're like, oh my goodness, I have to have this thing. There's nothing else like it. And I need my problem solved today. Okay. But if you're doing those two most of the time and you've missed that first part, that's why you might be struggling with your content creation and your engagement and ultimately gaining clients. Okay. So with that said, again, I'd love to know for those of you that are on right now, has this been valuable? Has this been valuable? Go ahead and put valuable in the chat. And number two, for those of you that are wanting even more of this, really wanting to see this at play and really wanting to learn, okay, what are the different components of starting and growing a business? Am I missing one of those components? How could I optimize them so that I can take my life and business to that next level? Because some of you might be in a place where you're like, oh man, I've been doing this for some time. I feel like I got some traction, but I'm kind of stuck and feeling a little bit plateaued, right? You're definitely going to want to go ahead and jumpstart your business. So join us this Saturday. Just go ahead and comment the word jumpstart. We'll get you those details. And otherwise, we hope you have a great rest of your evening and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.